In our gospel reading, we hear that story of transfiguration. That story of Jesus going up onto the mountain and being changed by what he sees and does there. But there's more happening in this scene than just the changing of Jesus. It's also the passing on of the mantle, the work of the ancestors. Moses brings with him the tradition of bringing the people out of slavery and bringing them into the promised land. At the end of his life, he is brought up to the mountaintop so that he can view the promised land, knowing that he will never enter into it. And then there's Elijah, who brings with him a long history of speaking to the people about the will of God. He brings with him the knowledge of being able to end a long drought for the people, and he is the first to be brought back to life after death. And so again, we see Jesus up on the mountain having this conversation with his ancestors, with Moses and Elijah, the forefathers of faith. And in this moment, they are passing on to him the tradition of leading the people in the faith of the one true God. This task has moved from Moses to Elijah and now to Jesus. This passing on of a legacy and a tradition is not unique to these people and this circumstance. This is something that we do all the time in our lives. And so I want to ask you, whose legacy have you taken up? Who are your mentors and heroes? And first of all, I want us to focus a little bit on the church. Think about your time here in the church, if you've spent your life here. Who were those Sunday school teachers and chairs of the board and prominent church figures that stand out in your mind as the legacy bearers? Share them. Call them out. Who do we pay tribute to today? Gene Stevenson. Yeah. Dave Pommery, yeah. Our parents, Alice said, of course they might have been the first ones to instill faith in our lives, yes? Sunday school teachers. Anyone in particular? Joan Medill? Yeah. Dr. Cliff Matchett, was he a minister here? Yes, thought so.
I contribute to Pearen Conley's wife. She was a diaconal minister but was not practicing that way.
Right.
Tremendous force in our church. A volunteering for something.
Reverend Conley? Conley's wife, yes. Very big impact. Ron?
Vivian Murchison.
Vivian Murchison. Evelyn Delgado. Yeah.
Mrs. Green.
Mrs. Green, yeah.
Mary McDonald.
Mary McDonald.
You should say Effie McDonald too. She taught CGIT here for more than 16 years.
Wow, Effie McDonald too, CGIT teacher, yeah. Lots of people we can think about, many of whom are gone, some just gone from this church, but some passed on as well, right? For whom we feel we carry their legacy. We think about their hard work and they inspire us to continue hard work in the church. So what about outside of the church, in our world? Who are the people that you look to? Whose legacy do you carry? When I think legacy, I do think about our war veterans. I think about their desire to go off and to fight right believing that peace was possible, and I believe that is our legacy, to help continue to create and establish and maintain peace in our world. Who else? As a young person living through the early 80s, I think about Terry Fox and his legacy. Not just around cancer, although certainly a legacy of cancer research and funding, but also I think about his legacy as far as really empowering us to the idea that anything is possible. He didn't think he'd have this sort of legacy when he started off, right? He was doing a cross-Canada tour, and he intended to raise money for cancer research, but I don't think he would have ever imagined that some 35 years later, thereabouts, that we would still be raising money in his name and running in his name. Sandra Sperler. Share with me a bit about her.
Well, she's kind of a queen of curling.
Okay, a big curler.
Cancer, and she supports the DOE in her legacy.
Sorry?
I have great respect for the Lady Heart child.
I'm not.
The little girl that promoted the Lady Heart.
Oh, I can't remember her name either, but I hear she's from Winnipeg, right? And she did the project Ladybug, this little girl, and it's to help homeless people in Winnipeg. Am I right on this? I think I am. And that's kind of like the pennies from heaven stuff, too, yeah. But young people taking on such an amazing task and endeavor. Totally a legacy.
Helen Sisson.
Helen Sisson, say something about her.
She was the founder of Camp Wanna Come Back many, many years ago and affected lots of us who are here.
Many people have spent years at Camp Wanna Come Back, and therefore, yes, have a debt owed to her legacy, yes.
Clara Hughes, for her big bike ride across Canada.
Clara Hughes, and that's mental health work. Yes. Yes. Olympian. Skier, I want to say. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Or skater.
Skater.
Speed skater.
Clara Hughes is a biker.
Can't keep up on all of her achievements. Yeah. Yes. Biker skater, yeah. Tommy Douglas, forefather of healthcare in Canada. A good legacy to carry on, definitely. One that we hope we can preserve for a very long time. There are many more, I'm sure, just on the tips of our tongues. I invite you to think about those people, both those personal people that you've met and had relationship with in your life, as well as those larger-than-life people that maybe you've only come to know through news media and such things. To just be aware of who those people are, who are the mentors and the heroes in our lives. Who do we aspire to be like? And it doesn't matter how old we are. We all have aspirations, and we all shape our lives around certain individuals. We look at them and we go, that is who I want to be like. And I think that that's important for us to continually think about who those people are. It's important to note that legacy is very different from celebrity. Some of the people we've named have an amount of celebrity to their name. They are popular and common, and most people would know who they are. But legacy isn't about how many people know your name. Legacy is about how people live their lives and continue on the work that you had begun. And indeed, we carry on much work in our lives from heroes and mentors, and definitely from the forefathers of our faith. We look at how they preached and taught and demonstrated the love of God in word and deed, without shame, without question. faith. Thinking of all those many names that we have offered here this morning, let us say a little prayer. Dear God, for the saints who have come before us, we give you thanks. For the saints yet to come, we give you thanks. For Jesus, who showed us your way of love, we give you thanks. And for the way that we show your love too, bless us and our efforts as we give you thanks.